The Question of King Milinda Book 4 Mendaka Panha The Solving of Dilemmas. The Buddha Sinlessness. Venerable Nagasena had the Blessed One, when he became a Buddha, burned out all evil in himself, or was there still some of evil remaining in him? He had burnt out all evil, there was none left. But how, sir? Did not the Tathagata get hurt in his body? Yes, O king. At Rakakataha, a splinter of rock pierced his foot, and once he suffered from dysentery, and once when the humors of his body were disturbed, a purge was administered to him, and once when he was troubled with wind, the elder who waited on him, that is Ananda, gave him hot water. Then, sir, if the Tathagata, on his becoming a Buddha, has destroyed all evil in himself, this other statement, that his foot was pierced by a splinter, that he had dysentery, and so on, must be false. But if they are true, then he cannot have been free from evil, for there is no pain without karma. All pain has its root in karma. It is on account of karma that suffering arises. This double-headed dilemma is put to you, and you have to solve it. No, O king, it is not all suffering that has its root in karma. There are 8 causes by which suffering arises, by which many beings suffer pain. And what are the 8? Superabundance of wind, and of body, and of phlegm, the union of these humors, variations in temperature, the avoidance of dissimilarities, external agency, and karma. From each of these, there are some sufferings that arise, and these are 8 causes by which many beings suffer pain, and therein, whosoever maintains that it is karma that injures beings, and besides, there is no other reason for pain, his proposition is false. But, sir, all the other 7 kinds of pain have each of them also karma as its origin, for they are all produced by karma. If, O king, all diseases were really derived from karma, then there would be no characteristic marks by which they could be distinguished one from the other. When the wind is disturbed, it is so in one or other of 10 ways, by cold, or by heat, or by hunger, or by thirst, or by overeating, or by standing too long, or by overexertion, or by working too fast, or by medical treatment, or as the result of karma. Of these 10, 9 do not act in a past life or in a future life, but in one's present existence. Therefore, it is not right to say that all pain is due to karma. When the body, O king, is deranged, it is so in one or other of 3 ways, by cold, or by heat, or by improper food. When the frame is disturbed, it is so by cold, or by heat, or by food and drink. When either of these 3 humors are disturbed or mixed, it brings about its own special, distinctive pain. Then there are the special pains arising from variations in temperature, avoidance of dissimilarities, and external agency. And there is the act that has karma as its fruit, and the pain so brought about arising from the act done. So what arises as the fruit of karma is much less than that which arises from other causes, and the ignorant go too far. When they say that every pain is produced as the fruit of karma, no one without a Buddha's insight can fix the extent of the action of karma. Now, when the blessed one's foot was torn by a splinter of rock, the pain that followed was not produced by any other of the 8 causes I have mentioned, but only by external agency. For Tevatatta, O king, had harbored hatred against the Tathagata during a succession of hundreds of thousands of births. It was in his hatred that he seized hold of a mighty mass of rock and pushed it over with the hope that it would fall upon his head. But 2 other rocks came together and intercepted it before it had reached the Tathagata, and by the force of their impact, a splinter was torn off and fell upon the blessed one's foot and made it bleed. Now, this pain must have been produced in the blessed one either as the result of his own karma or of someone else's act. For beyond these 2, there can be no other kind of pain. It is as when a seed does not germinate. That must be due either to the barrenness of the soil or to a defect in the seed, or it is as when food is not digested. That must be due either to a defect in the stomach or to the badness of the food. But although the blessed one never suffered pain, which was the result of his own karma, or brought about the avoidance of this similarity yet, he suffered pain from each of the other 6 causes, and by the pain he could suffer it was not possible to deprive him of life. There comes this body of ours, O king, compounded of the 4 elements, sensations desirable and the reverse, pleasant and unpleasant. Suppose, O king, a clod of earth were to be thrown into the air and to fall again onto the ground. Would it be in consequence of any act it had previously done that it would so fall? No, sir. There is no reason in the broad earth by which it could experience the result of an act, either good or evil. It would be by reason of a present cause, independent of karma, that the clod would fall to earth again. Where, O king, the Tathagata should be regarded as the broad earth, and as the clod would fall on it, irrespective of any act done by it, so also was it irrespective of any act done by him that the splinter of rock fell upon his foot. Again, O king, men tear up and plow the earth. But is that the result of any act previously done? Certainly not, sir. Just so with the falling of the splinter, and the dysentery which attacked him was in the same way the result of no previous act. It arose from the union of the 3 humors, and whatsoever bodily disease fell upon him, that had its origin not in karma, but in one or other of the 6 causes referred to. For it has been said, O king, by the blessed one, by him who is above all God, in the glorious collection called the Samayutta Nikaya, in the prose sutta called after Mulaya Sivaka, there are certain pains which arise in the world, Sivaka, from bilious humor, and you ought to know for a certainty which those are, for it is a matter of common knowledge in the world which they are. But those samana and pramans, Sivaka, who are of the opinion and proclaim the view that whatsoever pleasure or pain or indifferent sensation any man experiences is always due to a previous act, they go beyond certainty, they go beyond knowledge, and therein do I say they are wrong. and so also of those pains which arise from the phlegmatic humor, or from the windy humor, or from the union of the tree, or from variation in temperature, or from avoidance of dissimilarity, or from external action, or as the result of karma. In each case, you should know for a certainty which those are, for it is a matter of common knowledge which they are. But those samanas or brahmans who are of the opinion or the view that whatsoever pleasure or pain or indifferent sensation any man may experience, that is always due to a previous act, they go beyond certainty, they go beyond common knowledge, and therein do I say they are wrong. So, O King, it is not our pain that is the result of karma, and you should accept as a fact that when the Blessed One became a Buddha, he had burned out our evil from within him. Very good, Nagasena. It is so, and I accept it as you say. Here in the dilemma as to the Buddha's sinlessness.